Yeah, it's like that.
A double tree?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. There it is. Alright. What are we doing here? We are here. Okay. I am here with my friend and new co-host for the night anyways, Lawrence Miller, right?
Yes.
Lawrence Miller from
Intel Outside with the Works.
I'll put the link in the description below. Today
Love it.
we were talking about all sorts of crazy shit, new games coming out, new movies, new trailers, new YouTube stars, random
companies.
Steam shit, fucking how horrible Titan the fucking movie was, Titanfall the movie was, and we ended up start talking about women, and I think Lawrence has a very unique opinion, a useful opinion
I have
for
a
the
lot
viewers,
of opinions when it comes down to
and
it.
some interesting stories. So yeah, what's your background and what you've been doing lately?
Well, actually, for now, I've just been taking care of 2 special needs adults. Besides that, I've been running my own little podcast, talking about anime, video games, and music, and all sorts of shit. We're pretty hilarious, especially after you give me a few drinks. You know, case of beer, basically.
A few,
Yes.
just a few,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a few cases.
Yeah, you're kind of a small man. I don't know if you can handle that.
No, I know a woman that was quite small. She used to drink whiskey sours a lot. And she would get completely hammered, and I would sit there and wonder why she got so hammered, and decide she wanted to sleep with me.
I can't work the trash cans out here in Philly. They got like this handle thing, and it's like a
it's
mail
solar-powered.
slot, solar powered compactor. I don't know, fucking those Philadelphia people. They got some shit going on.
We got after hour strip clubs. We got fucking. Basically, that's about it.
Right. So you found a girl who would drink enough whiskey sours to bang you.
Yes.
And then what?
Well, that's the funny thing about her. See, when I was where I was living at before I moved to Southwest, she would be in the room. She'd be in the front room, and I was staying in the middle room. And like she would be so drunk sometimes on like enough whiskey sours, drinks or whatever. And like I would come in there just to check up on her, you know, see if she's still breathing. Next thing I know, she grabs me by the arm, pulls me down, and next thing I know, she's like way on top of me. She was quite aggressive, I'll tell you that much. I mean, my old job, I used to think that I could be used to aggressive women. Hell, my girlfriend is an aggressive woman. Well, sometimes. I mean, she read that book, what, 50 Shades of Grey? Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I would never, ever go through 50 Shades of Grey. And I would not recommend anyone go through that shit. Movie or book. I mean, I've gone through basically some of the worst movies in my entire lifetime. 50 Shades of Grey, horrible, but not as bad as Gem and the Holograms.
Ha! Okay. It's kind of apples to oranges, no?
Yes, pretty much. But she wanted to read the book basically because she wanted to figure out how bad writing ends up being a big thing. I mean, when you have a bad book and you wonder how that book became a big thing, like say for example, Twilight, as far as my consideration goes, most horrifying movie I've ever seen, ever, and now let alone the books. I mean, when your fucking vampires sparkle, it doesn't make them very threatening. I mean, it makes them almost as threatening as My Little Pony.
You go this way?
Yeah, this way. And now, me and my girl have been trying to work on unlocking the secrets behind how books like that become so popular. We're getting very close to figuring out how those books became big. So that way we can write books of our own that are just as crappy, that could be just as good. I mean, it's not going to be easy because, you know, my girlfriend, she writes primo, really good shit. And me, I just talk shit. I work in the entertainment industry, so basically, we just talk shit for a living. I mean,
right, so you guys are going to become badass authors. But my channel's about talking about how to pick up girls.
Pick up girls?
So what do you got to say about all that?
Well, picking up girls, well, for some it's not as simple as you could, as most would think, unless you're me. See, one of the things I've learned after all my years of picking up women is that a lot of women love a man with a bit of height. If you got height on your side, those women will fall back on you like a nobody business. My old job, I used to work as a bouncer for fetish parties. Oh yeah, I used to love doing that job because every time I'd work there, I would walk out of there with a different woman on my arm each day, each night. And in some cases, maybe 2 or 3. And basically because women see me and they see the height, because I'm 6'4", and they look at me and they say, "Oh, Mandingo." And then, most of the time, I end up going home with them, or I end up having sex with them at the after party. Like, for example, I met a girl one night at an after party I went to after one of the nights that I ran, or nights that I worked. She was, now the rule of the party was, if you fell asleep, you was out of the party. I saw the girl, she was cute, she was nice, she was nice looking and everything. And I went and I tried to wake her up, say hello and everything. And next thing I know, I got the girl's tongue down my throat. And then one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I'm having sex with her in front of everybody at the after party. Everybody at the fucking after party, who were basically cheering me on the whole time. But it didn't stop there. Oh no, it didn't stop there. The girl then wanted me to come to her friend's place with her, which I was like, oh, okay. I've had enough to drink. I'm all for it. Get to her friend's place. We get into the little guest room that she had set up for him. We get in there. There's a dude sleeping in the bed. I'm like, whoa, I don't roll that way. And she's like, it's okay. She wakes the guy up. She says, hey, babe, I want to fuck this black guy. He was like, all right, as long as I get to watch. I'm like, fuck it, why not? I'm all up for fucking while her boyfriend watches. Fuck it. I've gone to fucking swingers parties. And that's a different story right there. See, in Philadelphia, we used to have swingers parties. We had swingers clubs. One was up on South Street called Kama Sutra. Big time swingers club. People loved it, especially me.
Was it?
Because of what I used to do for a living, where I used to work at, because I did some work for Kama Sutra when it first started. So I got in for free. Now, normally, if you were a male, you couldn't get in there unless you were accompanied by a female. And the charge was like $75 per person. But me, seeing as, I'm me, I got to go in there for free. So seeing as I got to go in there for free, and it was BYO basically, so I had to bring a case of beer with me, of course, as I always do. And I bring in a case of Smirnoff Ice. I have a few drinks.
I wouldn't have pegged you a Smirnoff Ice kind of guy.
Well, back then I was like, I would drink just about anything that was
Zima.
alcohol. Yeah, exactly. As long as I can afford it. Hell, I bought cases of PBR. Well, basically that was my main drink, was PBR.
I love PBR.
Oh yeah. At Mako's, the bar on South Street, they used to have like $1 on Thursdays. Oh, that was the best times. But anyway, I'm in there, I have a few drinks. Girl comes up to me. Oh, I love black men. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm sitting there drinking. And then this thing I know, she goes away. And then this big, muscle dude comes up to me. I'm like, am I gonna have to fuck someone up tonight? Am I gonna have to fight somebody? But the dude was like, hey, my girl, she can't stop talking about you. She wants to get in your pants, I'm like, and she said, you? shit, all she had to do was come over herself, and I'd gladly said yes. So, I mean, and that was how the swingers club worked. Like, you know, sexy woman comes up to you, she wants to get into your pants. Who am I to say no? In fact, it was at that club that I had my first lemon drop body shots. Now, for those who don't know what that is, that's where they take lemon and they put the lemon juice on the nipples of a girl and a little sugar on there too. Then they give you a shot, vodka, fucking Jack Daniels, whatever. Take a shot and you suck the sugar / lemon off the girl's titty. That was the first time I ever tried it. And when I asked what it was, all they did was turn my head to the bar, and I saw a bevy of beauties, buck naked, sitting on the bar. I was getting to that fact where, starting to figure out what it was. They gave me a slice of lemon and put a little sugar on the nipple. A little lemon on there. I'm like, so when do I get to suck the titty? And another guy came around with a big ass fucking like economy-sized bottle of vodka. Stoli. I take a huge swig of that, finish it up with sucking the lemon / sugar off the girl's titty. Best night ever. And let me tell you, like I said before, when it comes down to women, at least 90% of them will go for height.
All right, so we learned what a lemon drop body shot was, okay? We learned a little peek into the inside world of swingers clubs and what it's like to be a fetish bouncer. But basically, y'all just told this guy who's 5'8" on a good day that you gotta be tall to get bitches.
Well,
that's really kind of fucked up.
Unless you have a good sense of humor. If you're shorter, now I've seen this many times. In fact, I was at a karaoke night tonight over at the Locust Bar in 10th and Locust. I saw a woman who was married to a guy who was a bit shorter than she was. And after talking with them for a bit, it came to fruition that the guy was A, really, really intelligent. Like, he was like really smart guy. And B, he was very likable. And C, he had a good sense of humor. If you have like basically those things in line, women will be attracted to that, as well as confidence, of course. I mean, but don't mistake confidence for arrogance. Because if you try to pick up a woman with arrogance, they're gonna look at you and be like, ew, this fool thirsty.
So what's the difference between confidence and arrogance, in your estimation?
Well, as far as my consideration goes, confidence is more about, like, you know, how you are, like how you're dressed, your attitude towards people, as well as towards like yourself. Being able to actually take care of yourself, good care of yourself. Arrogance is more like, you know, I'm better than everyone and I know it.
All right, like that entitled mentality.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people in my line of work who have had that mentality. I've seen people come into the clubs that I've worked at thinking that they were going to get some straight grade A pussy. Hell, most of the people I told some of my old war stories to, most of them were like, "Man, I'd love to beat you. Yo, take me to some of the clubs you work at so I can pick up some bitches." I'm like, it's not that easy.
Yeah. Well, I can take you there, but you ain't me.
Exactly. Like, I can take a horse to water, but I can't make him drink it. Basic. And being able to pick up women is more of a workaround, a compromise, if you will. See, I knew a guy once who was married to a girl. The girl was a lesbian, but because of how he handled himself and how he took care of himself and his confidence and sense of humor and his style, she was actually drawn more towards him than she would have been towards another woman. And she married the guy, which fucking totally befuddled me when I first met them. When I met them, which was at Mako's on South Street, they were like, because the girl was cute, she was fucking hot. And she and I had a lot in common. Like, she loved Rammstein, I love Rammstein. And we got to talking, and she told me a bit about herself, and she told me a bit about her husband, who also became a good friend of mine. May he rest in peace. And the fact that he was the type of guy with that kind of confidence, that he was able to pick up a girl who liked other girls, but was able to switch up because she liked this guy and how he represented himself. Because there aren't many guys who will represent themselves in the way that some people, that most people would feel themselves to be. I mean, and also the best part about picking up women is being in the right place at the right time. I mean, it's very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, even me, sometimes I find it hard when I be in the right place at the right time. Like, if you're in that spot and everything aligns, and you run into a woman that's going to be up for you and wants to get into your pants at least for the night, then you're pretty much set. Also, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit naive. A little bit naive.
That's gold right there.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, because one night I was out with a friend of mine. We were at this bar, another bar on South Street. And I had no intention of picking up women that night. And I was just, my intentions was basically go hang out with my friend, get fucking shit-faced, go home. I got shit-faced, my friend goes to the bathroom, I see this girl sitting over at the bar, because we're sitting in a little table. She's sitting at the bar by herself. And me, I'm hyper, drunk, yay! And she waves back, I'm like, yay! And then I look back over at her because she's still staring at me. She's like, hey, come here. So I walk over to her, a little drunk, hey. And I'm talking with her for a bit, making her laugh, being funny, being my usual self. And, she's she's touching on my knee, touching on my leg, getting a little closer and everything. And the whole time I had no idea she wanted to get into my pants. Then closing time comes around. And she's like, well, I live around the corner, maybe you can walk me there. I'm like, sure. Walk around the corner to her place. And, my whole intention was drop her off, go back home, play some video games, get drunk. But she was like, why don't you come on in? I'm like, well, I got a home, we got beers waiting for me. She's like, oh, I got beers here. I'm like, oh, I'm there. We go in, have a few drinks, have a few laughs. She gets a little closer. And then she's like, well, how about I give you a tour of the house? I'm like, sure. First stop was the bedroom. And she shows me the bedroom. I'm like, hey, it's a nice bed. What's this water bed? It's nice. I like this. You just lay back and chill. And then she looks at me for a little bit, and she's like, I see that all my subtle hints I tried to throw at you didn't go through. So I'm going to have to be as forward as I can. And she hands me a condom. I look at the condom, I look at her.
I ain't never used one of these.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And we got down with the get downs. But I guess for me, a lot of the women I've dealt with have been older women. Hell, when I was 22, I was messing around with a woman that was 33. When I was 19, I was messing around with a girl that was 22. Of course, I lied and told her I was 21. I mean, but hey, what do you say? She was hot. But But it's always good to have rules for yourself when you mess around with women.
Okay.
Me, I go by the 2 fundamental rules of my entire existence. They're the only things that work in my entire life. First rule, don't stick your dick in crazy. Second rule, do not stick your dick in crazy. Because that shit will fucking destroy you for the rest of your life. I mean, you fuck crazy, you're gonna lose your dick. You lose your dick, or you're gonna lose something more important. Well, actually, you know, your dick's very important to you. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you fuck around crazy, you're gonna have more than you thought you could bargain for. That's why I put those 2 rules in place. I mean, and whenever I forget, I have friends who remind me. Like one night, I was in New York, met a girl out there. Well, I knew the girl for a while. But I see her, she's in New York, she's dressed up in this really sexy fucking, like, you know, fuck me outfit. She's a Satanist. She screams about how she loves Satan and everything, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh man, she's so fucking hot. My friends, on the other hand, were grabbing me up like, no, Lawrence, don't do it, don't do it. And I'm sitting there like, but she's so fucking hot. No, Lawrence, it's crazy. Remember the rules. Remember the rules. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, thanks, guys, you saved my life. I mean, they saved my ass on more than one occasion when it came down to fucking crazy. I mean, because basically, I didn't want to see my close friend on an altar somewhere.
So you're trying to see him get married? That's what you're saying?
No. I don't want to see my dick cut off and put on an altar to Satan or something like that. So, do not stick your dick in crazy, and do not stick your dick in crazy. 2 of the best rules to go by. I mean, but sometimes crazy can be fucking hot as shit. I mean, crazy can be fucking gorgeous, hourglass frame, nice ass, big titties, fucking dick sucking lips, or DSLs as I call them. And they can be crazy as fuck. But you can't fuck crazy. That's the major rule to go by. Other than that, and the other woman, especially if they're single, maybe if they're swingers, or maybe if their boyfriend likes to, or husband likes to watch, or even if they're in an open relationship, open game. I mean, there are many women out there that do that. I mean, and some of them like to mess with people who are either taller or have a good sense of humor and know how to sling it. But like, now my girl, she likes them taller than her because of the fact that basically the sexual aspect. She likes to look a guy in the eye when she's fucking. Shorter.
I can't use any of this, right? I cannot put. Don't be tall. Be short. I can't put any of that shit on my channel, right? So I got to cut out like basically everything where you said like if guys can't change it, then they get all discouraged.
Oh no! I got encouraging things for that too. Cause see, like I said, when a man has a good sense of humor and knows how to carry himself, especially if they know how to carry themselves. Because I know a guy who's about my height. He's a big dude.
Where the fuck are we going?
I had no idea.
You're not following me, are you? I thought you were on a City Hall. Where's that?
That's there.
Okay.
No, what I was saying was, like, this woman, like this guy, he's about my height, but he's a big dude. And, like, he can't find him a woman to save his life. Not for the fact of confidence, not for the fact that of sense of humor, but because of the fact that he himself is crazy as fuck. See, he's got a lot of arrogance on him. See, like for a guy his size, he wants a girl that's shorter than him, who has basically a supermodel frame. And if you're a big dude looking for a girl like that, depending on the type of guy you are, it's not gonna work. I mean, if you're this guy, who I can't say on
Of course.
Of course. But he, I've tried to help him. I've tried to help him so many times, but he never likes to listen to the words that I'm trying to say to him. See, the type of women that he should go for are the type of women that basically could be into him. You shouldn't go after the 10s. Go after the ones that could be interested in you. Because if they're interested in you and they're in that roundhouse, then you could manage it. This guy, on the other hand, he will not. He refuses to negotiate his terms. All he does is we've talked, he and I, on many occasions, and all he can say is how women aren't interested in him because his hair is too long and he's too fat and blah 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 blah. And he'll start beating himself up. Literally, he will beat himself up.
That's a special kind of crazy.
Yeah. He used to say, "Hey, God, here's my hair. See my hair. Yeah, too stupid." I'm like, no, dude, no. It's because you don't have enough of a confidence, and your sense of humor is not the sense of humor that a lot of women will go for. I mean, there's the usual sense of humor, because he likes to do the whole singing comedian thing, Stephen Lynch or Weird Al Yankovic. But the way he does about it goes way beyond the normal singing comedian style. He'll go on about
yeah, you're ranting.
Okay.
You gotta back off of that.
Okay.
You gotta be more general because you're specifying this guy.
Well, anyway, this guy has a lot of problems with his own self-worth, and he beats himself up about it. And it had come to the point where I couldn't help him anymore. Especially when it came to women. I mean, and I've been able to help a lot of guys out when it came to them picking up women. If you want to basically, like I said, if a woman's interested in you, see where it goes. It might give you experience. It might help you out. It might give you something where where women might start getting more into you. When I used to mess around with women, I was messing around with women who were interested in me, who liked me, who wanted to get into my pants.
So how do you know when a girl's trying to get at you? You were talking about being a little naive and it was a good idea.
Oh yeah, back then.
But there's a lot of guys, guys who come to me, and they don't even know what to look for. And girls are like, here's all the signals, and then the guys, they'll take advantage of it, and then everybody's unhappy.
Well, that's the thing. See, women in signals, that can be very jumbled up depending on what type of signals they give off. Sometimes a woman might give off a signal that they're into you, but at the same time, they might, it just might be them being friendly. I mean, it's up to you to decide which is which. I mean, it gets really, really difficult to figure out because women might give you the signals that they're interested in you, but it might be the fact that they just want to have a conversation and see where things go. I mean, so it depends on the type of woman and what type of signal they give off. I mean, test the waters a bit. That's what I would say. Test the waters a bit. See where things go. If the woman shows some sort of interest, if she starts talking about how she's single, or if she's or if she's interested in what type of guy that she likes, or like if she starts like, you know, touching up on your kneecap, on your leg. That's the extreme area. Like one day I met a woman at a place called Clark Park Festival. The girl was cursing out some guy. And, you know, I came in, chimed in, just to, you know, smooth things out. You know, I made her laugh a bit. She says to me, "You're funny. You're coming home with me tonight." And I was like, well, I gotta get back home. And then she just grips me up by my collar. Now, this girl was kind of short. She grips me up by my collar, pulls me down to her, and says, "You're coming home with me tonight."
So not exactly subtle.
Yeah, she wasn't exactly subtle.
Okay.
She wasn't subtle at all. Like,
so how does this tie into seeing where things go?
That's what I'm talking about. Like if a woman, like sometimes women will be like, you know, very forward, and sometimes they'll be like, you know, we'll see where things go, or they'll sit there and they'll talk, or they'll like talk with you for hours and hours, and depending on the conversation, it could go like really well or disastrous. See, one of the things I've learned from all my years of experience is how a woman's body reacts. You know, if she starts playing with her hair when she's near you, you know, that may be a sign that she's interested in you. If a woman starts, you know, giving that little girlish giggle when she's close to you, and you say something that may or may not be funny, she might be interested in you. As long as you don't as long as you don't, like, you know, offend the woman. Because, like, if you offend a woman, then she's not going to be interested in you. Now, in some occasions, actually a lot of occasions, a woman knows whether she's going to sleep with you within the first couple of seconds of meeting you. So if a woman sees you from across the room and you start up a conversation within the first few seconds, that woman will either want to sleep with you or will not want to sleep with you. It's a common fact. Everyone knows this. Well, everyone who knows this. The women here in this city, sometimes they'll be forward and try to talk with you first. Like, you know, want to start a conversation, maybe sit next to you and start talking to you about something. You know, try to bring up something like about you. You know, if a woman comes up to you and is like, "Hey, you have a nice tattoos," or "You have a nice..."
So you talked for a half hour straight. Wait, where are we going? I gotta go pretty soon. So.
City Hall's right here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like a woman will sit there and they'll talk with you about like some of the most mundane things in life. Sometimes they might want to vent. Sometimes they might want to, like, you know, talk to you about something. But if you listen to what they're saying and you show them that you're paying attention, then they'll start warming up to you. And depending on those seconds, it could determine whether you're going to be in bed with them or if you're going to be their friend, or stuck in the friend zone, basically. And I'll tell you this. I've been in that area. I mean, a lot of women will gauge you based on your opinions on things, especially these days. A woman will come to you, ask your opinion on something, and depending on how it's answered, you're either in with them or you're screwed. But if you can play your cards right and know how to answer the opinions and know how to talk to them, then you get upset. However, if you're looking for a relationship, that's an entirely different story. I mean, I have a whole thing about that. I mean, my friend's mom.
We don't have time for that.
But one small piece about that. My friend's mom, she told me once, if you want to have a relationship with a woman, make sure that woman's your friend first, so that before she becomes your girlfriend, because that's where it starts off at first. Girlfriend. She has to be your friend first before she becomes your girlfriend. And I've taken that to heart. That's how my girlfriend and I have been in our relationship for so long. We've been together for 10 years. We've lived together for like 9 of those years. And it's always depending on how you are towards her once you have her. And always think to yourself, what's my future going to be like with this person? What's your future going to be like with that woman? If you can see a future with her, then by all means, take it. If you can't see a future with her, if you don't know how the future's going to be with her, it might be a little rocky. I mean, the girl I'm with right now, we've been like, this is the longest relationship I've been in. Ever. And when you're having the right woman, you have to make sure that woman is able to stick by you. No matter what happens. No matter what you do, no matter what happens, no matter what you do, no matter what you've gone through. You have to make sure that woman will be there for you no matter what happens to you. I mean, when my place caught fire, I thought my girl was going to leave me then. But she looked at me and was like, what are we going to do? And when she said that, that's when I knew she was the one for me. You have to be with the woman that's going to be there for you no matter what. And it doesn't matter, well, in some points, it doesn't matter how she looks. If she's going to be there for you, if she's going to be there for you, and only you, then that woman is a woman that you need to stick with. And you have to stick with her as much as she sticks with you. And be as faithful to her as she is to you. Because if you don't, you're going to lose out on one of the biggest things in your entire life. And I'll tell you this, I'm 37. I met my girl when I was about 28, 29. And she and I have had a repertoire with each other. But to tell you the truth, funny thing is, I met her before we started getting together. I met her at an after-hours spot, well, actually quite a few spots. And at that time, I was in my like, woo-hoo, party, 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 before I became the guy that I am now. And pretty much, my girl has been the brains of my entire operation. She's backed me with my podcast. She's backed me with my entire life. She's backed me even when I had nothing else to go on. And if you have a girl like that, who's gonna back you, no matter what you do, then that's a woman you need to stick by as much as she sticks by you. And that, my good friends, is why you should pick up the right woman instead of the woman you want to get into the pants of immediately. Because if you don't get into because if you get into the girl's pants, what's going to happen then? Is she going to be in your corner? Is she going to be sticking by you no matter what happens? Is she going to be the one that's going to be there for you even if no one else is? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Because if those answers are no, then by all means, go for the one night stand until you meet the one that will stick by you, no matter what you do, no matter who you are. And those women are becoming vastly, vastly hard to find. I'm just glad that I was able to find the one I have. And she's been by me throughout all my little misadventures. She's been like I said, she's been the brains behind my podcast. She's the one that gives me the ideas and has encouraged me to do the shit that I do now. Even while I'm drunk, especially while I'm drunk. Her advice has been the best advice because it's genuine, and she would never do anything to actually harm me or my success that I'm working on now. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have found out who my real friends were. You can find me at Intel Outside with the Works on Facebook. All one word, facebook.com/Intel Outside with the Works. Or you can look us up on Spreaker under Intel Outside with the Works. Right now, we're working on bringing up some new stuff. We should be back up and running by, I'd say, August 11th. August 11th, when we do Otakon in DC. Me and my other two co-hosts from the Chucklehead crew will be there. We will be doing interviews of anybody who cosplays and anybody else who's in the category of basically just there for fun. And most of that time will be spent with us being completely shit-faced. But hey, when aren't we shit-faced? Well, maybe at least.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure doing the interview with you. You'll see it come out on YouTube probably in about 9 days or so. That's how my schedule is. And then I'm going to take a picture with you so I can promo it on the Instagram. And then when I'm